What's up, guys? My name is Spartan, and this is episode 29 of my Tour My Tower video series. This is a video series where I go through the ins and outs of my tower, show you guys the different moves that we're making, the different upgrades we're doing, etc. So I have a very exciting episode for you guys today. It's been 3 weeks since the last Tour My Tower. I apologize, there's been a lot in the works. Obviously, the twins, just trying to manage sort of balancing life, work, YouTube, everything with having twins. So it has been a challenge for me, but the show must go on, as we say. Very exciting episode to share with you guys today, but a lot has changed. As you can see, we are farming in tier 17. So that's first and foremost what I kind of wanted to share with you guys. But really quickly, let's just go back to sort of the main screen here, and let's just dive into the stats page. In the stats page here, I think last episode we were just shy of 5 Big Q lifetime coins. So in 3 weeks, we are now at 16.5 Big Q quintillion lifetime earned coins. Stones earned 114,000. One thing I haven't really ever said during these episodes, but I think it's kind of interesting, 2.07k lab researches completed. So that's kind of interesting, but there's some stuff I want to share with you guys. A lot has actually happened since the last episode, and I'm very, very excited to sort of discuss it with you. First and foremost, we did get the 4,500 milestone on tier 16, on tier 17, and we did get it on tier 18. We finally did it on tier 18. So super, super excited about that. And let me just briefly show you guys what those relics actually look like. So for tier 16, the 4,500 relic is basically tower health. It's okay. Obviously not super applicable for me, but good for some people. Then for tier 17, we got damage per meter, which is actually fantastic because, as you guys know, we recently got light range, the ultimate weapon plus for spotlight. So that has been fantastic for me. The damage per meter, it's been doing a lot. And then for tier 18, we finally did it. We got the 10% lab speed. You guys know how I feel about lab speed, but super, super excited about that. Obviously, it would be great to get this one if we ever get first place in Legends. This one would be good too. Tier 19, more tower damage. Tier 20, more ultimate weapon damage. Yes, please. And then tier 21, this is the end goal. This is my final effort. This is where we are trying to get to. Another 10% lab speed. Then I would effectively have all of the lab speed stuff in the game. So that is our tentative goal. We're going to, maybe in like 4 years get to this point, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, super, super excited. Things have been going really good. Also, Happy New Year. Yeah, it's 2026 now. It's a new year. New year for the tower. If you guys missed it, I recently did an episode of Tower Talks where I brought on a whole bunch of different people, other content creators as well. And we basically just discussed kind of predictions for this upcoming year, things that maybe we would like to see change or be added to the game, as well as just overall how version 27.3 has sort of affected all of us with our towers. So if you want to see more of like a podcast style series, definitely go check that video out. Lots of cool dudes in there. Tags is in there, JP978, Greeny Crowbar, and Bonsai Lad. So if you guys want to go check out that video, it was a good time. It was a really good video. I had a good time recording it with those guys. But anyway, I digress. Let's dive in to the workshop because this actually probably will look a little bit different than last episode. So first and foremost, the damage category here. We are farming on minimum range. I am not farming with the range mastery, not currently. I think that farming on minimum range has actually yielded me some better coins overall, versus having a little bit extra damage from the range card. So I'm doing minimum range. This is locked from Black Hole Digester. This stuff is, it gets maxed during the run. And then instead of having bounce shot range locked, I now have bounce shot targets locked with my free ups. This is kind of experimental for me. I'm just experimenting with it to see sort of how it goes. And yeah, I'll definitely update you guys in the next episode of this series with how I feel that has gone. But so far, it's been pretty good, I think. And moving on to the defense side, nothing's really changed here. Similar, just kind of glass cannon setup. Have the 1.65 shockwave size, which basically just extends a little bit past my orbs. And I'll just show you guys what that looks like here. So I'll slow it down so that you can see. But yeah, just notice where my orbs are. Then you'll see the shockwave when it goes off here in a second. It goes just past my orbs. And the reason for that is basically to tag the fleet enemies with my ACP, so that I can get some extra damage onto those guys. And last but not least, the utility. Everything is basically the same here. We have 560 levels into the enemy health level skips. We have 520 levels into the enemy attack level skips. This has been pretty good for me overall. 0 complaints. In the enhancements, you can see the attack enhancements. I currently have damage per meter, and super crit multiplier all the same. These are all the same. My crit factor is 2.7, and then my attack speed is 1.33. I do have a little bit invested into rend armor, mostly just for my poison swamp. It doesn't do a whole lot, but every little bit of damage helps when you're running glass cannon, so why not? Now moving on to the defense enhancements, we have health regen, and wall health all basically the same, just to get me a little bit of a buffer. Landmine damage is, 4.0. Then orb size is 1.6. We have very big orbs. And then last but not least, the utility enhancements, cash bonus, basically just enough to unlock the rest of this stuff. So we've got 12 levels there, 78 levels in coin bonus. This is really good. 76 levels in cell bonus. Then my free ups has 44 levels, and my enemy level skips has 32 levels. I want to continue to bring mostly my ELS up, and then obviously like my coins, but it's pretty expensive. Last but not least, let's dive into the ultimate weapons. A lot of you guys have seen, I started doing some investing into smart missiles. Now, just be aware, this is not probably a worthwhile investment, at least not at the current state of the game that I'm in. It will, however, come into play when I get closer to sort of farming some of these higher tiers. Chain Lightning is the best damage ultimate weapon for the earlier stages of the game, as well extending into the mid game. Smart Missiles, I have a hunch, is going to pay off and pay some pretty big dividends later on in the later tiers of the game once I get to that point. So, the mindset behind sort of investing a little bit in Smart Missiles and then also investing a little bit into Poison Swamp, I have some good damage in my Poison Swamp, is for the sake of the Saboteur enemies. When fleets initially got released, anytime a Saboteur enemy would cancel my Chain Lightning, it would basically kill my Glass Cannon run, because I didn't have any damage from any other sources. Now that I have a little bit of damage into Poison Swamp and a little bit of damage into Smart Missiles, if my Chain Lightning does get canceled by a Saboteur enemy, my Smart Missiles basically just nuke it. So that is sort of the rationale why I thought it would be good to go ahead and invest right now. In terms of the other stuff that we have going on, I have a couple things that I'm very excited to share with you, but I'm just going to cut to the chase here. We maxed out our Golden Combo. Golden Combo is now completely finished. We are done with it. Dunzo. Never coming back. Never going to have to click it again until Check Tree Games maybe adds another level, which I hope that they don't do. But anyway, yeah, so Golden Combo is done. And with that, I'm very, very excited. The rest of the stuff, nothing's really changed with Spotlight. I think maybe I put like a level into bonus, but I did get my light range from unlock level up to level 3. And I'm not really going to take it anywhere beyond level 3 because, as you can see, it's starting to get pretty expensive. So we're going to leave it at level 3 for the meantime. I think that that's going to be pretty sufficient. Like I said, nothing's really been done with Black Hole either. Poison Swamp, I've left it like this. Nothing's changed with the inner landmines. Chrono Field, you can ignore that 1 second duration. I did not do another click. It basically just came from a module stat. But my Chrono Loop is now level 10. So crowd control has become exceedingly important in the tower. And you guys would see that if you watched the podcast Tower Talks episode that we did. We talked about it. The importance of crowd control for the tower. It's becoming super, super critical. I wanted to go ahead and get Chrono Loop. I believe I had it at level 6 or 7 last episode, and we went ahead and brought it up to level 10 with the Black Friday packs. My next order of business in terms of ultimate weapons, I really want to get the Death Wave cooldown fully done. I want to get it down to 50 seconds, so that's 2 more clicks. It's going to be expensive, and I'm not prepared for it, but I think everything else for the meantime is at a pretty decent spot, so I think we are finally at that point where we can sort of afford to start saving up for this. So the Death Wave cooldown and also the Death Wave quantity are both going to be my next big econ plays. Possibly before that, I'm going to try to get a few more levels into my Golden Tower duration. But in terms of damage stuff related to ultimate weapons, I don't really think I plan on investing too heavily in anything else for the meantime. If I do, it might be like a click into spotlight angle, a click into spotlight bonus, maybe a click into like poison swamp damage, but honestly, I think I'm pretty set in terms of the damage stuff for the meantime, which is great because now I get to focus back on what I love most, which is freaking coins. So yeah, that's where we're at. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the cards. So we have a few more card slots here. We now have 24 card slots, so I'm very, very happy with that. I'm currently saving up for actually my 25th card slot, which is going to be this guy here. And yeah, basically I'm at the point right now where I need to figure out how to counter overcharge enemies. And the way that I'm going to have to do that as Glass Cannon is by getting more card slots and putting in some EHP stuff. I need health. I need extra defense. I need both of these to counter the overcharge. And as you can see, I can't really afford to take any of this other stuff out. I'm going to do what I really should have done quite a while ago and just go ahead and buy the rest of these card slots. That's my current plan. Especially after the feature banners went. You guys, you guys all know how it went. It was not pretty. But yeah, that's where I'm at in terms of the cards. We do have a couple new card masteries to talk about. And I don't remember if I actually had this last episode or not, but we did have the range mastery, so that was a recent pickup. That one is fully completed. We also went ahead and picked up the Berserker mastery. Berserker has been super good as well. 270 seconds of times 500 damage buff. That can be super impactful, especially paired up with like the demon mode. The demon mode mastery, recharging in 300 waves. If right after demon mode dies, I get 1 death defy, I get basically almost all of my demon mode recharge. I get all of that damage during that time, with an exception of like 30 seconds. So Berserker has definitely been a good pickup for me. It's a little bit RNG based, as I've touched on previously, but I think overall it's a good investment. In terms of the next card mastery that I'm thinking about, and this I will probably put on the back burner for the meantime, is going to be the attack speed mastery. I think attack speed mastery is really good, and it's probably going to be the next one that I work on, but like I said, it likely will not be anytime soon. But that is going to cover it for the cards. Let's go ahead and dive into the modules. All right, so in the modules, this is something that's a little bit different. You can see I'm currently using Orbital Augment in my farming setup as the primary, and I'm using Anti-Q Portal as the assist. Prior to this, I had Anti-Q Portal primary and then Space Displacer assist. I basically just wanted to test out Orbital Augment after they changed it, and to my surprise, I ended up gaining about 500 waves on average in tier 16. That was really good. Yeah, I pretty much have not gone back. Like having 15% of the enemy's remaining health every single electron that hits, it's really valuable. It's like very valuable. So especially for dealing with the fleet enemies. The overcharge, forget about it. It's really good. So Orbital Augment has been my primary module now pretty much for the past 2 weeks, and I have zero complaints. I think it's been really good. If my damage was not as developed as it is, I probably would still have to use Anti-Cube as the primary, because right now I'm only getting the 10 times damage buff. But at Ancestral level, obviously you get an extra 15 times for the damage. So I'm finally at that pivot point where I can afford to sacrifice a little bit with that Anti-Cube damage and rely on the Orbital Augment damage instead. In terms of rerolls, my main priority is I really want to get a Death Defy Ancestral on this thing. It's taken me forever, but maybe we'll get it, maybe not. We'll see. In terms of the modules that I've been pulling, you can see we have the Ohm chip here. and 2 more ohm chips. So honestly, I think I could just turn this to ancestral. Yeah, you can see the modules we have here. I did start building a second dimension core. So trying to wait until I can basically get this up to ancestral. And then I'm going to try to do 1 dimension core for farming, and then 1 for basically tournaments. That's my plan. But I'm still using Galaxy Compressor in my farming setup. It's really, really good, especially while I do not have the 50-second death wave. Once I get the 50-second death wave, I might take that off and instead put on the Singularity Harness. In terms of my Dimension Core, I did re-roll it. So I took off all of the econ stuff that I had rolled on this, and I basically got it set back up for tournaments. I do have the Ancestral Smart Missile cooldown, and I have just an epic Chain Lightning chance that I want to probably get at least Mythic. And then, of course, we have the Chain Lightning quantity, and I did go ahead and keep the Chronofield duration. That will help me with the Ultimate Weapon duration battle condition. Sort of a little safeguard against that battle condition, and I think it's worth having it on my Dimension Core. But yeah, in terms of the rest of this stuff, I think we're in a pretty good overall spot. In terms of my current 5-star modules, I have Death Penalty, Astral Deliverance, Amplifying Strike, Negative Mass Projector, Space Displacer, Sharp Fortitude, Black Hole Digester, Galaxy Compressor, Singularity Harness, Harmony Conductor, you guys already know this one, and Primordial Collapse. Yeah, like I mentioned, I've been really burnt out by the modules, and I am not going to be pulling these feature banners. I'm just not going to. Like, if they changed them and made them the way that they really should be, maybe I would pull from them, but I got genuinely upset pulling the featured banner, like to the point where I was actually pissed off. So for that reason, out of spite, we are getting the rest of these card slots. But anyway, that's going to cover it for the modules. Let's go ahead and dive into the labs. So we currently have attack speed going. This one, I'm going to go ahead and probably try to take to max. I think attack speed, it's going to be really, really valuable. And yes, it's going to be diminishing returns until I fully max it out, but I think it's going to overall just be really valuable for me. And I started working on these enhancement discounts. You get discounts for the enhancements, which is really, really cool. And that reminds me, I forgot to mention one last thing pertaining to the milestones. We unlocked tier 21, which is where I got those. So we unlocked tier 21. We did that a couple, I think last week maybe. But yeah, we went ahead and unlocked it. So we only have a few more waves to go until we unlock the the lab speed relic. But that's gonna be the new goal, is unlocking this lab speed relic. Obviously, we're not gonna do that anytime remotely soon. But I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, and one last thing within the modules that I forgot to touch on is the assists. So I'll just show you guys what my multipliers and stuff look like right now. I've got 30% multiplier efficiency for the cannon, a little bit into the substat, but not a whole lot. It doesn't really get me that much value. Then my generator is 34, my core is 36, and then I have 14, 13 for the substats for both of these. This has been really good. I want to actually work a little bit more on the generator assist. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just thinking about coins. Nothing but coins. That's where my head is. Econ, contrary to what some people have said, is not dead. It is very much alive, and I need all the econ I can get, because I can't afford all these freaking labs. They're crazy. And then for the rest of this, I'm really just working on damage stuff for the meantime. The rest of my labs, in terms of like econ and other things like that, I'm in a really good spot. So I'm working on damage for the meantime to basically try to compete more in Legends tournaments. If I can consistently get rank 4 or above in Legends, I would be a happy, happy camper. But in terms of my lab history, I'll just show you guys kind of what we've been working on here. Yeah, so recently, like I said, I've been getting a little bit of establishment into the enhancement discounts for these different categories. I also started working on the assist module bonus for the core, just a little bit. And other than that, we've been doing quite a bit of stuff. I put a little bit into the Rend armor multiplier for my Poison Swamp. Really, again, just kind of focused on damage. I got the first level done of Death Wave armor stripping, just for the sake of the armor battle condition. A lot of this has been a good thing for me. Again, there's level 9 on the range mastery, level 9 on ultimate crit. Pretty much all of my key mastery labs are maxed except for Berserker. I have one more level and we're getting very close. I want to start working more on damage per meter as well for the sake of my spotlight bonus. And yeah, we went ahead and did all of the levels of the recharge nuke, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. This is what we've been doing. This is what we've been doing pretty much since last episode, all of this stuff. But yeah, that's actually going to cover it for the labs. Let's go ahead and dive into the tournaments. All right, so in terms of the tournaments, we are still in Legends League. Things are looking up. We're doing pretty good. We are consistently post-update improving, sort of. You can tell where the update happened. It happened right here. So we got 1,018 waves for that, and we've slowly been working our way up. We got a couple rank 4s in here, a rank 5, unfortunately a rank 8. The bracket was just not good, but we are consistently improving. Admittedly, I am sad that I never quite got to see 2,000 waves, but we will get there. It'll take us some time, but we'll definitely try to get there. And let's go ahead and dive into the keys so I can show you guys the most recent development. We got the last level of the workshop respec. So we now have free respecs, which is fantastic. Super, super good. Additionally, we got the auto restart run. I think I may have actually had this for last episode. I can't really remember. I really need to start watching these before I make the next episode. But we did get the restart run, so that's really good. And the most recent stuff that I purchased was I went ahead and got the nuke automation stuff, mostly for the sake of tournaments. And I also went ahead and got the smart demon mode automation, also for tournaments. But both of these actually were really good. I really should have got these way, way long ago, but now we have them and we never have to get them ever again. In terms of my next goal for keys, I have a couple. I really would like to get this next card slot. I also would really like to get the damage slider. That would be nice. But I think before any of that, we're going to save up for the workshop presets. I think that is going to be super, super good. Mostly a quality of life thing, just for the sake of not having to respec for tournaments and sort of waste the time setting it up. And just it's a huge inconvenience having to respec. So I think that the workshop presets are going to be my next big play. We're getting pretty decently close to the point of maybe starting to develop some of this stuff in the power tree. But for now, we still have some important stuff in the harmony tree to get done. That's going to wrap it up for the tournaments and the vault. Let's go ahead and talk about really quickly the bots. So I want to show you guys my bots because we did unlock the Amplify bot. So my golden bot at this point is in a really, really good spot. Obviously, we still have quite a bit of headway to go in terms of the duration, but I feel pretty good about the golden bot for the meantime. I wanted to go ahead and get Amplify going, again, just for the sake of the extra damage. I don't have a whole lot of uptime for the meantime. I have about 80 seconds of downtime, which is not ideal, but maybe on the off chance that there's a tank ultimate or a boss ultimate that's about to kill me, maybe an overcharge, and then amplified, we just get lucky and get some extra 3.5 times damage. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Obviously, usually people would like to get the golden bot fully finished first, but like I said, I have really the crucial stuff done, the bonus, the cooldown, and the range. At some point we'll get to the duration, but honestly, I'm not overly concerned. It's fine. But yeah, I've slowly just been working mostly on the cooldown and the range, just trying to get sort of these in a better spot. And yeah, at this point, we're just kind of saving up for the next event to roll over in 3 days. And last but not least, let's go ahead and talk about the guild content. All right, so shout out to This is Sparta. You guys have all been killing it. Yeah, we've got some cool stuff in here going on. In terms of the Guardians, I'm still just running fetch and summon. This is what my fetch currently looks like. It's basically good enough to get pretty much all of these. Yeah, the reason it's not already done is because basically my emulator crashed because I had an update to do. So always keep track of that. But then my summon, we gold box duration, it maxes out at 35 seconds. And now we're basically just working on the cooldown, just slowly trying to sort of drop this down a little bit. And in terms of the store, we've basically got all of the critical stuff except for this last tower skin. So we're going to get that done pretty quick. And then we'll try to get these relics. And then last but not least, we'll basically just end off purchasing the rest of these cosmetics. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all we had to talk about today. Couple little housekeeping notes. We have a Discord server with 3,500 people in it. If you're not already in the Discord server, What are you doing? Get in here. We're having a good time. There's all sorts of tower people in there of all different stages of the game, from beginner to end and so on. Really good community we have there. Been working on it for over the past year, and we've already grown to like 500 shy of 4,000 members. So click the link in the video description if you'd like to join the Discord server. And if you want to support me and my content creation, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can do so by using my content creator code that you can see at the bottom left of the screen. My creator code is code 300. You can use my code in the web store or the in-game app. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's kind of a win-win if you do it on the web store, because I get a slightly higher commission from purchases in the web store, and you guys get slightly higher amounts of gems for purchases in the web store. It does expire every 30 days, so just make sure once a month basically to re-enter the code if you want to continue supporting me. And the second way that you can support me is through YouTube memberships. We have YouTube memberships here. And for the YouTube memberships, I do 2 different giveaways for the YouTube members. The first is what we've already been doing, just a monthly giveaway for the YouTube members only. Generally, it'll be something like event boosts, and I just do a drawing for that. Recently, I started a new video series called Tour Your Tower, where I dive into your tower and basically just help you out with any advice, giving you my unbiased perspective on sort of where I think you should sort of improve. That is also a YouTube member perk. So if you are curious about the YouTube memberships, feel free to hit the join button below and check that out. And with that, that's going to conclude this episode of Tour My Tower. Like the video if you liked it, leave a comment below and let me know how your tower's going, and subscribe if you want to help me get to 10,000 subscribers. And with that, that's going to wrap up this video, but thank you so much for watching, and like always, I will see you guys later.